The fifth room. Never underestimate the fifth room, especially in Africa. Especially in Africa.
That must be in-laws.
Exactly. Exactly. I always say everyone is a guest. In your marriage. Everyone is a guest in your marriage. Rule number 1, treat them like guests. What do you mean by that? I mean, treat them with respect and honor. Because honor is the only thing that binds relationship. When honor is removed from relationship, then we don't have relationship.
Actually, I love this saying that honor is a seed of access.
Once you do, and there's 7 different types of honor that have a condition that most people don't even know. And if you learn to relate to the in-laws with honor, then it will be great. And also find the guest room. Also, you find the house helps are also part of the guest. They are guests. You need to respect them and treat them with honor.
What about the children? Are they part of the guest room?
Children are just a blessing. We have marriages that don't have children. Does it mean that's not a marriage? Children are a blessing, and that's how I've not included them in the 7
rooms.
Yes, yes. Whether you have children or not, your marriage should be able to work. It's not based on children. We don't get married because of children. It's a plus, yes. It's a benefit, yes. But that's not the key thing, and I believe it's a blessing that God has given us. Yet, it shouldn't interfere with our relationship in marriage.
But I know some in-laws who they don't just want to leave your house. Yes, they are guests, but they just want to stay there. They want to dictate everything that happens. They want to feel like they're entitled to marriage. Like you've been married to a community, especially to a woman married to such a family. How can they manage it?
One of the most important things that every couple needs to know, especially when they're planning to get married, they're getting married to set boundaries. And let me say this, values are very important. Values become the boundaries that protect you in your relationship. So what are your values about marriage? What are your values about family? And I think you also need to discuss as a couple about values. And also you also need to look at the situation. That's again, we go back to the family of origin. For example, if you're married to the only son in the family, only child in the family, and the mom is unwell, and the only person who can accommodate her is you, then you just have to learn to accommodate, and it will be beautiful. I believe I am married today, but one day I'll become a mother-in-law. I would want to be treated well, you know. Somehow, one day I'll become a grandmother. I would want someone to treat me well in my old age. So, cut a slack on someone. They're not as bad as people say they are. They're great people.
I also think as wives, we also need to set boundaries, and we also need to be more loving and not expect much from our in-laws. And then through that, there will be a lot of expectations will be reduced. I think we get married thinking they should love me. And it's not them that have married you, it's one man.
I know that, but also there's another aspect I've realized. How you also get into marriage is very important. Oh yes, it is. Because I look at relationships like people say, come, we stay, is marriage. I wish they'd go back and read what the Kenyan law says. Because it doesn't say.
What does it say?
It doesn't. They need to go back and ask for that copy and read. I know there was a debate in 2010 until 2012, but it was never passed. So they need to go and check. Secondly, I'd have to look at this. If you're calling me mother-in-law, which law made me your mother? Which one? If you call me sister-in-law, and there's no law that made me your sister-in-law, so which law are you using to call me sister-in-law? Which one? That's why we've added in-law. If it were not for the law,
we will not be married.
We will not be related. So which law governs that? We need to look at it. And then I always say this. You, like I and my husband, we're on the same side. We're not enemies. Your people become my people, and my people become your people. And I think we need to change that attitude. And sometimes we just need to stop fighting back over small things and just have acceptance. That's some of the people, that's who they are. Just learn to love them and don't get offended by slightest things that come up.
It's a nice topic. Yeah, and the sixth room.
The sixth room. And there's something else I wanted to talk about. Before we go to the sixth, there's something I've remembered I want to talk about. not only the in-laws, but also the outlaws. Put boundaries also with friends. How far is too far with friends? It's in-laws and outlaws. It's so important. And there's one thing that also I find it very odd, especially like in bridal showers, where friends go overboard, which either it's out of ignorance or I don't know, where they end up presenting this cake that has symbols of, a man's manhood. I find that insulting to our society and to the men, because I'm thinking, why do we degrade them that way? And why would friends also do that? And that's why, as a young lady, you need to have boundaries. Your friends need to know your values. There are things that are acceptable and there are things that are not what? Acceptable. So it's good to communicate, you have boundaries. I mean, even phones. Maybe your husband talks to you through phone in the intimate, chats that you have. You should also have boundaries on such. Boundaries on how we relate with each other, which I think it's okay. And a bride should be able to state it clearly that I have boundaries. And when it comes to family, I learned from my mama. She used to tell us, treat everyone with all respect. If you know your friend comes, you will cook chicken. Then if your in-law comes, please cook chicken and not biryani. Show the same respect and honor. Honor will take you farther than you can be. Because it also, when you dishonor, it defiles your spirit.
Heart.
Yes, it defiles.
Does it mean that's why many brides lose a lot of friends after marriage? Because you set boundaries and your friends don't think. Because I remember when I was getting married, a few months before marriage, I lost a very good friend. But she told me I didn't involve her in my dating. So I'm like, you don't own me. And yeah, actually I've lost a number of friends because of that. So I understand they were in the guest room.
Yes, it's true, but also you also don't release all your friends, and especially if you're a sanguine where you enjoy talking all the time. And chances are you get married to somebody who can't handle so much conversation. You need still friends to talk to them. Then the quarter that remains, you can now be able to talk with them. Exactly. So it's also important to have a support system that can just, can meet your need of talking all the time and sharing, and especially when it's a group of women that have wisdom. It's so important.
What if about these friends, seasonal friends? Like you're supposed to be friends for a season. And I feel like when you try to escalate that relationship, both of you are sucking some energy out of each other. So I think it's better you just part ways, but you're still friends.
You can part ways, but always do it honorable. Yeah, don't burn your bridges. You never know when you might need it. So whichever way, when you're resolving conflicts with friends and you're parting ways, do it in a respectable manner. It's so important, and that again falls in honor. Honor is so important. Business run because of honor. Relationships run because of honor. If we remove honor, then there's no relationship that is going to work. Even if you don't honor your children, still your relationship. Exactly, it's so important.
Now to the sixth room.
Yeah, the sixth room. Several people disagree with me about the sixth room because it's the bathroom, the washrooms, where there's a toilet and of course bathroom. And I always put communications there. And I'm thinking, man, how communication?
How is for cleaning that?
But I realized, do you know? Lovemaking wouldn't be great if you don't pass by the bathroom because you need to shower and smell nice. That's one thing, if you look at a logic way. But also let me tell you that if you don't speak out, if you don't have a heart-to-heart conversation, and if you don't remove the toxic things from your heart, then even the bedroom won't work and the relationship won't work. And that's why I picked the bathroom, where I always remind myself, every time I'm cleaning myself, I'm showering and feel fresh, I also need to let go some things. I have to learn to tap into forgiveness on a daily basis so that I may be able to enjoy intimacy. Because when all that is piled up in me, it doesn't work. Secondly, also if today you're not able to relieve yourself, actually you'd end up having surgery. You'll be admitted.
So many people are going to poo and susu.
Exactly. It's the same thing with communication. If you don't release anger, you don't release bitterness, and you pile it inside, it becomes toxic, then you end up having pressure. In the end, you have a stroke and probably die.
So can we say it's in the bathroom that you really ask the Holy Spirit to work on you? And it's in the toilet that you ask the Holy Spirit to help you release all the toxins.
I have learned to use that. Just as I take a shower, I say before I give my body to my husband, I want to submit first to Christ and give it to Christ, so that we can be able to have that union. At the same time, I keep on saying, Holy Ghost, as much as you're speaking to me, may you also minister to me.
Wow.
Yes.
I think we should stick there, the bathroom and the toilet. So many people are bitter. So many wives are so bitter.
And now to the seventh room. Tell us more about the seventh room.
I know a lot of people are really expecting so much to hear about the seventh room. But I'd like to say this. The seventh room represents intimacy. And
Which is the bedroom.
Which is the bedroom. And I don't know how, I don't know how or what makes people think that that great sex is automatic. It isn't. It's hard work.
Sex is hard work.
Yes, it is. It is hard work. And that it begins from the living room and then to the study room. Because living room helps you, nurture your relationship with God.
Yeah.
It's connected to the bedroom. The study room, you get to understand. When I was studying temperaments, and especially temperaments with sex, I realized different temperaments respond differently. So when we go to these aunties or singers, and they tell us one way, they might be talking one way about their husband, but that doesn't mean we all have same, characters.
Yeah.
Exactly. A choleric responds differently to sex. A sanguine differently.
Yeah,
a melancholic differently. A phlegmatic differently. So it's good to know whom you're married to, because you're supposed to be submitting to your own husband. There is own husband, not everyone. And it's good to incorporate all that. It's good to incorporate their love languages. It's good to incorporate their apology languages into the bedroom. And it's good to add love. Without love, then everything is meaningless. And this is what I would say. We've reached a level whereby we introduce a lot of toys and things. And I think the reason why most people do that is because they're afraid of talking, having a heart-to-heart conversation.
But I also think it's the society, because the society really worships sex indirectly. And most of the bridal showers, everything is all about sex. Sex. So when you're getting there, as a wife, you're so armed to make this man happy. Yeah, so
probably, but it's also the man armed to make you happy. The Bible says that live with your wives with understanding, because they are the weaker vessel, so that your prayers will not be hindered. I always ask again and again and again, do the husbands understand what understanding is? I don't think you can ever have great intimacy, and especially sexual intimacy, if you don't understand your spouse. You don't understand how their body functions, you don't understand the cycle of a woman, you don't understand what makes them tick, you don't understand the kind of conversations you need to have. There's so much studying each other, and I think till that do us part is quite a long time for you to have. It's enough time for you to get to know each other so well. I think one of the biggest challenges that couples have in marriage is they walk into marriage with past experiences, and they start expecting, they start comparing, their past with the present, which the enemy leverages on that and destroys your relationship. It becomes like a third party in your relationship. So I believe when you're preparing for marriage, it is so important to start submitting your body to Christ. It's so important to start asking God to forgive you, to heal you, to make you whole, so that you can have something to give to your husband. Vice versa, the man too. he needs to ask God to forgive him, to make him whole, so that you can be joined together with the bride as pure as possible. You can start fresh. Nobody was born knowing it all. You can start from zero and grow together. The bedroom needs passion, but it also needs purity.
Purity.
Yes, it's guarded with purity. It's great to have passion. Nobody wants to make love to somebody who's not passionate.
Yeah, true.
It is so important. But again, it needs to be protected with purity.
So can we say many people who have toys in their bedroom, they have idols. Like they have elevated the idol and delevated Jesus Christ, who is supposed to be the center in their bedroom.
First, I would like to look at why have they introduced
The toys.
exactly. It's because there's a vacuum. There is a vacuum. If there's one book I love, is Songs of Songs. And I can assure you, when you read Songs of Songs with a clear, sober mind, you might not even say some of those words because your heart is filled with bitterness and unforgiveness.
Of course.
So it's easy to use the toys to be busy so that you don't speak your heart. But we need to go back to the basics, where it's a heart-to-heart conversation, where you're able to express your feelings, you're able to show true love, you're able to show you care, you're able to love genuinely, and you're able to be patient in the same relationship. You're willing to start from zero and grow with that person. You're able to learn from one another. If there's one place that needs humility and a teachable spirit, is the bedroom. Yes. As I was saying, what makes another person tick is not necessarily what makes me tick. And that is why couples need to live with each other with understanding. And if you find one spouse is on a higher level, I think humility is key. They need to come down to the level of their spouse so that they can grow together, which is so key, instead of blaming each other. And also asking healing, mentally, emotionally, and even physical.
Especially from the past relationship.
Exactly.
Is
yes.
it foolish to ask God to make you both virgins again?
No, it's not. It's not. And I believe God can. I mean, I remember before I got married, that was one of my prayers. And I remember for 1 year, praying just God would heal me and make me whole, so that I'll have something to give to my husband when I get married. I was so surprised. By the time I was meeting my husband, I was so shy, as if I haven't known any man. In fact, I would joke at my bread and people would ask questions. I would tell them, how would I know these things and I did not know any man? Yeah, it's possible. God can do that.
And now, my viewers, for this and much more, she has a noble mentorship program, which she's going to tell us more about it. And you can join and you can enjoy. So, Mom Faith, tell us more about what you do, and if you have any events that
coming now.
Yeah.
Let me say this. There are those who know me as Mom Faith. There are those who know me as Faith Muriithi. There are those who know me as Famo Bridal Showers. There are those who know me as A Cup of Tea with Bam. There are those who know me as Marriage Without Mask. There's those who know me as Famo Shangazi. There are those who know me as Famo Solutions. I know, I can imagine.
All those brands in one person.
Yes. A noble woman, we began noble woman because I realized a lot of people have not been trained on marriage foundations, and especially in a biblical way. And I realized it needed time. It's a program that takes 16 weeks. We meet once a week, where we empower the woman about realities in marriage, but not only that, about self-actualization in the area of them having a relationship with God. Because I believe, as a mentor, if I give you God, then any situation in your life you can be able to solve. Because I believe in the Bible, there's an answer to every situation that you go through. You only need to ask wisdom. The Bible says that wisdom builds a house, understanding establishes it, and knowledge fills it with precious gems. It's my prayer that every wife out there would desire to seek wisdom, to seek understanding, and to seek knowledge. Because knowledge will teach you what to do. Understanding will teach you how to do it. And wisdom will teach you when to do. And it's so important. We have an event coming up called Marriage Without Mask, where we'll be discussing intimacy from a biblical perspective, and especially on Songs of Songs. It's strictly exclusive for couples on 25th November. They can check on our website and also on our Facebook pages.
Which is your website?
My website is www.famusolutions.co.ke, or just even Faith Muriithi on Facebook. Yes, we have the group also Wives in the Making. And yes,
you have a page on Facebook.
Yes, the page Faith Muriithi, it's there. We have page on Noble Woman, it's there. And we'll be having also 30 ladies graduating on 11th November. Guys are invited. It's a conference graduation where they'll be able to listen to other women and hear their experiences and their transformation. It's a program that transforms. We're not looking at motivating, we're looking at transforming.
Yes, actually I was in season 1. So I'm a beneficiary.
Oh, yes, season 1.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you.
I hope my viewers will enjoy it, and may the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you, and may He shine on you.